Hi, this is Dave Littman with Truth in IT, and today I am joined by a panel of IT leaders from the credit union world. This is a preview of the panel that we will be having as part of our webinar on October 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. So let me go around the table and introduce you first to John Lockie. John is the AVP of Infrastructure and Information Security with a Caltech Employees Federal Credit Union. Hey, John.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well, thanks. And also joined by Rick Menjivar. Rick is the CIO of the Chafee Federal Credit Union. Rick, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, thanks for joining. And we also are joined by Lee Bird. Lee is CEO of BTEC. BTEC is a systems integration firm and solutions provider for IT, data management, and data protection, specifically for the credit union world. Lee, welcome.
Thank you very much, David.
All right, so hey, we want to keep this, like under 5 minutes. This is just a preview into what the audience is going to learn during the webinar on October 20th. We're going to be talking about data protection and compliance for credit unions. So John, why don't I head it over to you first. Guys in your role, guys in your position, IT leadership, tell us what you think are one of the top main struggles that you guys deal with as it relates to data protection.
Yeah, for data protection for credit unions, there's really two issues, I would say. First one is just the reality that we're dealing with real-time data. We're dealing with data that's bit for bit. We can't afford to lose it. People's information as well as their deposits, their money, their transactions. It's a real-time information that we've got to back up and protect. And then, of course, as we deal with DR scenarios, business continuity, moving data off-site, then we have security as a big issue, and your data being in another facility needs to be secured, monitored, and managed and administered in a way that you can provide the most trust for your members. Those are, I would think, are the two things that come to mind when I talk about data.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing about credit unions is you guys all have branches. You guys all have remote sites that you have to deal with, right? I mean, that's a really common thing. Rick, can you add a little bit to that and maybe talk a little bit about where compliance plays a role?
Sure can. Compliance is ever changing. We were talking about compliance, just 10 years ago, completely different than what it is today. We have the NCUA coming in, we have the FFIEC guidelines that go into that. We also have other auditors, private auditors that come in, and they talk to us about all sorts of different things, such as cybersecurity, data at rest, data in transit, but they're not really clear on what those things mean. And so that ever-changing every single time from the different organizations, that makes it quite a challenge for us.
All right, Rick, thank you. And, after having a chance to speak with you guys, one thing I've learned, and Lee, maybe you can speak to this a little bit, is about the concept of peer support. It just seems like your community is really strong, and, there's a lot of information gathering and information sharing. And Lee, because you're so active in the community, you probably have some insight that you could share.
Yes, David, thank you. Peer support is really one of the underlying foundations of the credit union industry. We work exclusively with credit unions providing managed security services like data protection. And one of the benefits of working with credit unions, what they tend to do to help each other is through peer support, provide ideas on best practice, different technologies, also try to help each other from a compliance standpoint. As Rick mentioned, sometimes just interpreting rules or understanding rules from the examiner's perspective can be difficult. So peer support is definitely kind of that foundation. It's just like credit unions help members, credit unions help each other. So it's definitely a big part of the credit union industry.
Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, and we hope to help you guys come to the webinar. This panel is going to be taking your questions, and we are a strong part of the community, and these guys are going to be sharing their experiences, and we want you to bring your questions and bring your feedback so that we can all gain. So on behalf of Lee and John and Rick, this is Dave Littman at Truth in IT signing off. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to come back October 20th, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Thanks again for watching, and make it a great day.